Hello, and welcome to today's webinar, The Man-Made Cellulosic Fibers, MMCF Community in the Hub. Today's presentation will be recorded and sent out to all registered participants and also will be posted on the Hub. We will have a Q&A portion at the end of the presentation. You can type your questions in the question box on the webinar doc. Any unanswered questions will be answered afterward via email. Now on to Simone Cecil and Taylor Bittenbender at Textile Exchange, who will lead our webinar today. Simone?
Thank you. Thank you, Rose, and welcome. My name is Simone, and as our workspace at Textile Exchange is virtual and not much has changed really, and I feel really grateful to be able to continue and contribute to the work we do on our reports, on our benchmarking, working with our members, and my focus also being particularly on man-made cellulosics. In these uncertain times, we are reminded how connected we are, Larray wrote in our last e-newsletter. And by signing up today, we hope that you, like us too, we all resolve to create a better and healthier world. And no doubt times will be tough. So let's remind ourselves how we can best shape the outcomes already today. And while we're working to support each other to get through that current situation step by step, we can't lose and shouldn't lose momentum and focus on the global goal and on reducing carbon by 2030. I've met many of you, and usually this has required long travels. And now I really look forward to being connected virtually. So thanks so much for joining today and to learn how the Hub community works. And on the next slide, with the launch of the Man-Made Cellulosics Fiber Roundtable community at the Hub, and this is a 2020 milestone for us also, and it was also requested by many of you actually. We aim to be your new go-to place for resources, for learning, for connecting, and more related to MMCFs. And that will include a discussion forum, a library, an events area, but also the possibility to connect with other members of the group. And we have already almost 300 members signed in. So it is a place by you and for you. So please fill it with life and with your passion and with your know-how and contribute. Support by answering to discussion posts, share news and innovations, but please be modest with marketing activities. Additional to the full member platform, there will be moderated work streams. So the Hub will also serve dedicated working groups as a platform to engage and report back. So collaborations with partners in our space will find a new home at the Hub. At Textile Exchange, I will be present in the Hub, and also I will be supported by Prerna, our new materials group coordinator. So you will hear from her also, and from Taylor from our communications and membership team. So Taylor, over to you. Taylor, she will guide you through how to use the Hub. And please be reminded also you have the chat function on the bottom right. So please type in your questions. We have plenty of time reserved and we will try and answer all your questions. Thank you.
Thanks, Simone. Hi, everyone. As Simone said, my name is Taylor Bittenbender. I am the membership coordinator for Textile Exchange, and I'm going to tell you all a bit about the Hub and how the Man-Made Cellulosics Roundtable is going to use the community feature on the Hub as a virtual gathering place. All right, so in order to do that, I'm going to give a quick demo about the Hub and tell you all a little bit about how this platform was created. If you are a member of Textile Exchange, you've probably heard a bit more about the Hub. It was launched a year ago, this April, and it is our member portal and online community. So the main feature of the Hub is, as this member portal, but it also is set up in a way where we can have our different stakeholder and roundtable groups have their own private communities on the hub. So that's what we're doing for the Man-Made Cellulosics Roundtable, and we're really excited to give you this access and this new way to connect. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the hub and how the website works. I'm going to explain a bit about our privacy policy, how you can access the hub, and why you should use it, and then do a quick live demo as well as some quick tips. So for your privacy, we have any of your data set at defaults so that you have total control over what information is showing. I'll explain on this call how you can change any of those settings, so you can, share on the hub your email address if you'd like to do that. But we do want to let you know that you can share as little or as much information as you would like. The hub does have tools so that people can reach out and message each other directly on the hub. And we think that this is great, but we also do respect that maybe not everyone wants to have that connection. So you do have total control over what information of yours is shown, and we hope that you take advantage to connect in whatever ways you would like to. So that brings me to different ways to access the hub. So we have 4 main ways that you can access the hub, and they're listed out here. So hopefully you're all familiar with our main website, textileexchange.org. But we also have access to the hub via our store where we have publications, then also just our main URL for the member portal and online community. And you also can access it through email digests. So this first way is on textileexchange.org. Hopefully this isn't too confusing, but there is a link that says Member Only Hub. It also is for our stakeholder groups. So if you're anywhere on textileexchange.org and you look up in the top right-hand side of the website and you see that Member Only Hub text, you can always click on that and it will take you to the hub directly. And again, you can click on that even if you're not a member, and it will take you to the hub as a participant in any of our roundtables or outside stakeholder groups. As we're moving those to be housed on the hub as their separate communities, you will have access that way. And then the second way is through the store.textileexchange.org. We do have a link here. So the store is where we have all of our publications available for non-members to access. So here we have housed still a lot of our resources that are at no additional cost, and that is part of our mission as a 501c3 nonprofit. Is to provide those educational resources to the community at large, whether they're members or non-members. So you can always feel free to come here and find any of our publications. We do have a select few publications that are for purchase here to non-members. But like I said, we do have the vast majority of our resources available at no additional charge for our non-members. So I recommend, if you haven't been there, to check it out. And then also there's a link on here to go to the hub. And then the main way is just going to hub.textileexchange.org, and that will take you straight to our member portal and online community. This is what the homepage looks like. So you'll know you're in the right spot if it looks like this. And then the last and my personal favorite way to access the hub is directly from your inbox. So the way that the communities work is whatever community you're part of, you have the option to subscribe to receive a digest. And this comes in different frequency option, so you can change how often you'd like to receive these messages, but you will receive email digests whenever there is community activity. So for example, this is one of our ambassadors who posted to our membership community. He was answering a discussion question, and I received what looked like this in my email inbox. And when I pulled this up, I had the option of doing a couple different things if I wanted to reply. So this is why I like accessing the hub through these digests, is you don't actually even have to open up your internet browser to access the hub. If you just wanted to send a quick reply to this one discussion post, you could use one of the 3 blue buttons that are on the right hand side. So there are these blue boxes and it says reply to group online. But if you wanted to just send it via email, you could do reply to group via email. And if you click on that middle box, it will open up a new email message, and you can type in your response and click send, and that email will send and post a response to the discussion question that is listed here. So it's a great option if you just have a minute to send a quick answer. So I really do recommend using that. I think it's makes it easy to engage in a way that you might not have time for otherwise. But so the other boxes that are listed there, reply to group online, if you click on that, it will open up into your internet browser directly to the discussion post, and then you could also click the private message sender. So that would be directly just to the person who wrote the discussion post. And we do have that option, but obviously we would prefer if you try to keep your conversations open as much as you can. One of the great things about the hub is that it is a way to share information with our community at large in a way that we haven't been able to in the past. So if it's not proprietary or sensitive information, it's always great to share. We're a really open community, so we do normally suggest, you know, having these discussions be open for everyone to see. Okay, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about why you should use the hub and why we're using it for the Man-Made Cellulosics Roundtable and some of the advantages. So one of the advantages that the hub has is a really easy advanced search function. So this is an example of that search function. You can see the yellow arrows that I have on the screen show where you can type in whatever you're searching for. In this instance, I searched for down. And when you do that, it brings up whatever you have access to on the hub. So if there's something within the Man-Made Cellulosics Roundtable that you are particularly interested in, and you remember seeing something about it, but you're not sure exactly where you found it, you can always go to the search bar that's in the navigation. It's in the navigation bar, and type in what you're looking for. And there are different ways that you can sort the information, and it tells you what type of resource it is on the right hand side. And yeah, it's a really great tool. Now I'm going to explain a little bit what the community is itself that I've talked a lot about so far. So at its very core, it's just an online space for members to come together to work on projects, share information, and collaborate. So we have this space for you, for this really specific targeted work on man-made cellulosics. So this community is what you make of it. And we hope that you all are able to really engage in a great new way because of it. So we are bringing our roundtables and outside stakeholder groups to the Hub in 2020. We have some of these groups listed here, but we do have more of our roundtables that are on the Hub right now, like our recycled polyester and biosynthetics roundtable, and now man-made cellulosics is our latest roundtable to have a community on the Hub. We're really excited about it. The main features of the community really are the discussion, the library, and the community members. So the discussion is the section that you'll use to post questions and ask each other things and share information in a new way and keep those conversations going and figure out, what next steps could be taken. So the discussion is really a powerful tool. It's a bit like social media, like LinkedIn, for example. And so we hope that you take advantage of that. You'll also have a library specifically dedicated to man-made cellulosics. So the library has information that we as Textile Exchange will share with you, and it also has information that you can post yourself. And then, of course, the community members are the key to this all, and you'll be able to see and talk with the members of this community directly. This is what our membership community looks like, and what the man-made cellulosics community will look like as well. It's structured in the same way, where the latest information shows up first, and so we have discussion posts and announcements and shared files. And I wanted to share some functions and tools that are really helpful. So what we have on the Hub, as I said, it's a bit like social media, and in that way it has some of those similar functions like tagging. So we have a lot of our resources are tagged by preferred fibers and materials. So here I have highlighted in yellow this organic cotton green box here, and if you were to click on that, that is a tag, so it would show other information that also has that same organic cotton tag. So you can tag any of your discussion posts or your library entries, and it's a great way to find information as well. We also have this @mention function, which again is similar to social media. So here I was responding to a discussion post, and I knew that some of my colleagues had a little more information or knowledge on this question than I did. So what I decided to do was @mention them, and it's really simple. All that you have to do is type in the @ and then start typing someone's name. I normally, a trick that I use is to type someone's last name. For example, since my name is Taylor Bittenbender, if I were to start typing Taylor, there are a lot more Taylors on the Hub than there are people with the name Bittenbender. So I know that if I type in my last name, I'll find myself faster, but it does auto-populate. So as you start typing in a name, some options will pop up for you below. But it's a great way to bring someone into a conversation who might not otherwise be paying such close attention to the conversation, and just a way to highlight maybe who an expert is, and like I said, bring them into that conversation. And then we also have this best answer feature. So this is an answer that Simone actually posted onto our membership community. And the best answer feature, it's basically just what Textile Exchange recommends people use as the main answer to a question. So not all of our discussion posts will have this, but if you do see it, it is just a way that we sort of verify the information that's being shared, because it is a crowdsourced type of platform. We wanted to be able to show what we recommend, while also valuing all of the input that our members and outside stakeholders bring in. So that's a great thing to look out for. And now I'm going to do a quick live demo for you all. Okay, so I am on the Hub's homepage. So it's just hub.textileexchange.org. And I am logged in as an administrator right now. So your view might look slightly different than mine, but everything should be fairly similar. We have on the Hub this navigation bar, which is great for you to use and make your way through the site. We also have these banners on the homepage that have links to some of the latest initiatives or releases that Textile Exchange has done. So you can see we have some of our reports listed here. And then you can see some of the latest information, so latest discussions and announcements. And as you scroll down, you'll see, you know, got to see most active members, and then we also have our Twitter feed there as well. So another point that I wanted to make on the home page is that you have your own individual profile. So on the upper right-hand corner, there is this little box, which if you add your picture will show up there. And then the drop down gives you some more options that show your individual profile. You can click on your communities, and then if you have any messages directly on the Hub, it will show if you have unread messages. So this area is really how you can access your own section of the Hub. So if I click on profile, I'll show you just a little bit about what that looks like. So as I said, I'm logged in as an administrator, Textile Exchange administrator, but there's a section here for a bio, so you can add information about yourself so that someone else can see, you know, what your expertise is. So this goes on, and we have the option to import information from LinkedIn and show, you know, a bit about your education and job history. That is really up to you to add to as much or as little as you want, but obviously the more you add, the more other people will be able to learn from you and get to know you better. You also, like I said, have an option to put a profile picture. So how you would do that is there's this little actions button. And if you don't have a profile picture yet, it'll have a little blank avatar. So that's what that will look like. But if you click on the actions button in blue, you can change your picture or remove a picture. And I'm sure when there is no picture, it says add picture. So that's where you would go for that. I did want to point out where you can go for your privacy settings and your email settings. So these top boxes are really helpful, especially the My Account. So if you click on that drop down, this is where you'll find your privacy settings and your email preferences. So you know, I recommend, like I said earlier, that you check on your privacy settings. We do have them set to a default so that people's information is, you know, protected from the get-go, but this is where you can really get down into those details and change what you would like. So you have the option to change, like if you have a picture, only certain people could see that. You could change your you know, your job title and department and just have only you seeing this. I will point out that if you do choose the only me, it will still be viewable to you, but no one else on the site will see that information. So you can even do that with you know, the send message option. So if you don't want anyone to send you a message, you could change this to where it says nobody. You can also, yeah, use any of this information to change, and then once you're done, you just hit the save changes at the bottom. And we'll send out more information so that you'll have links on how to get here and change it as well later on. But then I also wanted to point out the email preferences. So that is directly underneath privacy settings in my account. And if you click on email preferences, it will take you to this page, and you can, you know, use this to turn community emails on. It will already be set to yes, and you will then get notifications from the communities that you're a part of. So there are two ways that you can change those community notifications. There's a link directly here, or another way is if you go back again to my account and click on community notifications. And these notifications will control what digest emails you receive. So there are a few different options for this. For me, I'm showing that I'm part of the biosynthetics roundtable, the membership community, MMCF, and recycled polyester. And if I wanted to, I could have all of those emails or all of those digests come in one email. So these consolidated daily digest option would mean if I click off all of these, I would get one email per day that would show the information from all of these communities, rather than getting 4 individual emails if I had the daily digest. So I do recommend you know, this consolidated option, and you have the option of doing that for a daily digest, so once a day email, or a weekly digest, which is once a week. Obviously, the more often you receive the emails, the more up to date you are with the community. So we do recommend that daily option, but it is up to you. So that's a great tool that I wanted to show you. And then if you didn't want to do that, you would just change your discussion email to whatever you would like, just for the one community. So this discussion email option is how you would have your email settings without doing the consolidated section. All right, so that's a little bit about the nuts and bolts of your own settings for the hub, but I did want to show you how to access the Man-Made Cellulosics Roundtable. So if you go back up to the navigation bar, I have selected communities, which is showing up right after home. And what you can do is you can click My Communities, and then this will show a list of the communities that you are a part of. So again, like I said, I am listed as the Biosynthetics Roundtable membership, but also the Man-Made Cellulosics Roundtable. So if I click on that, I'll show you a bit what your specific community looks like. So Simone and Purna have gone ahead and added sections here so that you all have information set up already through the library. So you'll have a discussion section, which doesn't have any posts yet, but will soon, and then this library section. So if you click on that, it will show all the library assets. But then you can also see this latest shared files where the library sections are. So I'm going to show you a little bit about the library here from that box at the top. It is set up by folders, so you can see we have a folder for meetings, we have a folder for just library where we have textile exchange information, NGOs and initiatives, and then standards and integrity. And we also will have a webinar folder for you as well. So we'll be updating this and adding more information, and really hope that you use it as a great resource. And then if you keep scrolling, you'll be able to see other members of the roundtable, and we'll also have events here for you as well. Now, a few more just quick little nuts and bolts. We have this help/frequently asked questions button on the navigation bar. And if you click on that, it will show you just frequently asked questions about the hub itself and how you can use it in a better way. So if you have specific questions about using the hub, this is a great place. It's not Textile Exchange specific information, it's more about the specific site. So we have that there, and we also have it on the top left-hand corner of the site. And on that top left-hand corner, we also have a link back to textileexchange.org, terms and conditions, and a contact us section. So yeah, those are some easy ways to make use of the site. And again, here's that search bar that I was mentioning before. So we do think that that's a great way to utilize the site and figure out more information. And yeah, this brings me back to the home page. So I'll go back to the presentation. That was a bit of the live demo. And I'm just going to follow up with a few quick tips. So I've mentioned this already, but we hope that you update your bio and add a picture. People are more likely to respond to your questions if you have a picture instead of just the generic avatar. So we hope that you do that and fill out a little bit of information about yourself. And then we also recommend, that you check those email settings so that you are receiving emails as often or as little as you prefer. And we will be sending you more information about how to do that, but I also did walk through how to make those changes. And then the last and third tip is to check your privacy settings. So this, again, just make sure that you have your information showing as little or as much as you'd like. And we want everybody to feel comfortable on our community, and that's our highest priority. So if you have any questions about any of that, we're all here to help you with that. So those are my quick tips for getting started with the hub and the MMCF community. All right, and so we have a little section for questions. If anybody has any specific questions about the hub. And if no questions have come through, I do have this one question that we get asked a lot. So the question is, for your company, is there a limit of users who can access the hub? And the answer is that if you are a member of Textile Exchange, you do not have a limit of users. So if your organization is a member, any one of your employees can join us on the hub, and we welcome that. However, if you are not a member, only the people who are participating in our stakeholder or roundtable groups have access to the hub. And you can see here, anyone interested in participating must opt into our communications. So we do have a link to get you started to opt in, and that's the first step if you're not already set up. And I see that
there is one question, Taylor.
Okay.
That has come in. Steve says, where were you able to manage all the community emails? I do not see as many options as you had available. For instance, would like to join the discussion forum for the MMCF community, but don't see an option at the moment.
Sure. So that might be for for the MMCF roundtable, because it is just launching today, you might not have that option set up yet. We will make sure that you have that set after this call. But if I go back, sorry, I will show you where I went for the community emails. So if you are on the hub and you go to your profile, there are two ways to change your email digest settings. So I recommend going to My Account and the Community Notifications. So this will show what communities you are already a part of. So like I said, the MMCF Roundtable community, we are just launching it today. So if you don't see that yet, that in your settings here, it might just be because we're working on launching it. So yeah, by the end of the day, you should have that showing up if you opted in to be a part of this roundtable with us. So we're really excited about that. And if there are other roundtables or communities that you'd like to join, feel free to reach out to us. And we can get you set up with that. But like I said, so you'll have this discussion email. So this first option is to choose if you'd like to have it just from the one community. So you would get a daily digest email from this one particular community. Or if you were to choose any of these consolidated options, so the daily consolidated or the consolidated weekly digest, it would say no email in the discussion, but then you would have it set with these green check boxes. So I hope that's helpful, and we'll make sure that we have this all set up so that you have the options when we have the roundtable live for you all.
Great. We have another question. I would like to remind everyone that is on the call that if you do have a question, please go ahead and use the Q&A at the bottom of your, or wherever it is where your toolbar, excuse me, is located, and you can submit your questions there. The chat is not available for you, but you can definitely submit your questions again in that spot. Another question that we have, Taylor, is if you change companies, can you keep your hub account?
So it depends. So if you worked for a company that was a member and then you change to a company that is not a member, you would lose your member access. So for example, you wouldn't be able to participate in the membership community. However, with your new company, you would still be able to participate in the hub in like the MMCF Roundtable community or one of our other stakeholder roundtable communities. You just wouldn't have the full member access. So that is how that kind of works, and I think it is particular to each situation. I know, maybe you worked for a company that wasn't a member, and then you become a member. So those are situational, but we'll definitely help you out whenever the situation arises.
Thank you for that. Another question is, what does it cost to be a member of the hub? Does one need to be a member of Textile Exchange to take part in the hub?
So no, it doesn't cost anything to be a member, to be a part of the hub. I will make the distinction. We have the hub set up. Originally, it is as a member portal. So like I was just saying, we do have some member exclusive aspects to the hub, like our membership community. However, we also have these these specific stakeholder and roundtable communities like the MMCF roundtable community that is open to everyone. There's no cost associated with it. And once we have this MMCF roundtable community live by the end of the day for you all, we'll have all of the options, ready for you all to participate and to post to the discussion and all of that. So yeah, if any of the features aren't running right at this very moment for the MMCF roundtable community, it's just because it's not quite live yet as we're doing this. So I apologize if there's any inconvenience there, but you will have access soon if you signed up to be a part of it.
Great. Those were all of the submitted questions at this time. Is there any other questions that you all may have? And if not, Simone, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you. Yeah, as mentioned, once you're part of the MMCF community, and when we share the email to all of you with recordings, etc., there will again be the option to sign up if you haven't done so yet. And there will be more information on this regular community digest coming directly from the hub, as Taylor pointed out, depending on your settings. So daily or weekly, you will hear from the hub. And some dedicated discussions we will start next week by encouraging introductions. So stay tuned and check the site. It will be live later today, as Taylor mentioned. And one thing before I hand over to Rose for the final wrap up, on a personal note, it is Fashion Revolution Week. So let me remind you to check online the activities in your country, and you might even want to consider donating, because there's a new web page up where donations can be directed towards national programs to support affected garment workers. So if you haven't heard of that website, it's called garmentworkercovidrelief.org. And it is a good it compiles the various national programs. And it was just a personal feel that I would like to share that with you. So Rose, back to you, and from my side, thank you so much for being with us, and this is just a kickoff, so let's get started on the hub.
Thank you, Simone, and thank you, Taylor, for your presentation today. Again, we'd like to remind all of the participants today that you will receive an email that has the links to the presentation that you saw today, and for those that were registered and were not able to attend or participate at this time, they also will receive this. Thank you for participating and have a good day. Bye-bye.